Hey everyone, what is going on? So we are battling a subscriber in the Timeless Cup. What else? What else would we be playing, right? And yeah, I'm using Haunter. I'm using other Pokemon too, but I'm trying to focus on Haunter. So let's take a look at his team. He has Dragonair, Kingdra, Skuntank, Drapion, Ivysaur, and Wishcash. So very interesting to see Ivysaur. Ivysaur is not a bad Pokemon, but I think usually a lot of people tend to go with Venusaur when they have the choice, or at least I do. You know, maybe some other people might have a different opinion, but definitely very interesting. And my team will be Lapras, Dragonair, Victreebel, Celio, Charizard, and Haunter. So let's go ahead and let's talk about Haunter for a little bit. So Haunter is a good Pokemon. It did really well in regionals, right? Vela Ash won his regionals with it. That was a little bit ago, but you know, really powerful Pokemon, and it still is. The only thing is my Haunter is not a legacy one. I do not have a Shadow Ball variant, unfortunately. So you definitely, if you're going to use Haunter in this cup, I think that you probably definitely want a Shadow Ball. If you don't have Shadow Ball, I wouldn't really recommend using it. I mean, Sludge Bomb is good, but there's no fairies in this cup, so it's like you definitely prefer having that Shadow Ball variant, but I'm still using it just because I want to make a video of Haunter and I don't have a Shadow Ball one, so I have to, right? You know, but yeah, if you don't have the Shadow Ball one, I wouldn't use it, but if you do, it's definitely one that you could totally consider, which reminds me, you definitely want to check out tomorrow's video, guys, because tomorrow I'm using a Pokemon that I feel is underrated, but I think it's really good. I'm not going to say what Pokemon that is, but we'll talk about that in tomorrow's video. So as you can see, we lose the first game, and generally speaking, this isn't with like every battle, but like a lot of these battles in this video, the ones I lost, it seemed like I was using Haunter, and the ones I won, I wasn't really using Haunter. So maybe you definitely, it's super squishy, isn't it? Like it really is. It's so frail, and that doesn't mean it's bad, of course, but you definitely want the Shadow Ball. Does a tremendous amount of damage, especially coming from a Haunter. There's no doubt about it. So if you're going with Haunter, again, Shadow Ball. If you don't have a Shadow Ball variant, I would consider other Pokemon. That's just my opinion. But, you know, it's definitely fun to use. It was fun to use, right? It was definitely something different. I think we had it on our team in like 2 videos ago, but we didn't really use it that much. And I don't use it in every battle in this video, but I do use it quite a bit. But yeah, so here's the Drapion. I do bring in my Celio, and I go for that Aurora Beam. I don't even go for the Body Slam, just go straight for the Aurora Beam. He will get off his charge move. Totally fine, I'm going to let this one go through. It is going to be a crunch. We're able to take it. Still does a lot, but we can still take it. I do charge up a little bit extra because I knew Ice Fang is not doing a lot to my Celio, and I click on Body Slam to knock out Drapion. He will bring in Kingdra to knock out my Celio, but our final Pokemon is that Dragonair, and all I have to do is basically shield if he decides to use a charge move. Now, because my Dragonair is so highly ranked, it's ranked 34, I've mentioned in like every video, I'm able to survive that. So PvP IV is definitely coming in handy for that battle. It was a very close game, we survived on like 1 HP. I thought it was going to be a tie, to be honest with you, but we're actually able to win it. But for the next game, I lead with Lapras, he leads with Wishcash. Now, I actually had noticed, and I just noticed, well, during the battle I noticed that he was going with the Water Gun variant instead. So that's pretty interesting. I mean, usually you see them with Mudshot, right? But he does have Water Gun. He said after the games that it was a mistake. He forgot to bring his Mudshot one. Totally understandable. That's totally fine. So he's going to hit us with Mud Bombs. And we're just charging up for the Skull Bash. And I do go ahead and click on it because I knew, okay, we could take the last shield or we could not knock him out. I thought it was going to knock him out. It didn't. So he does get off his charge move against me. And I'm going to go ahead and let this one go through. I had considered clicking up the shield just because, you know, we could have fainted him down and had the switch advantage, but I decided not to. So I do bring in that Haunter, and he brings in Kingdra, and our health is just going to be absolutely depleted. You know, we click on the Sludge Bomb, and hoping to do a lot of damage or that would probably have knocked him out, but unfortunately he shields up, so maybe the Shadow Punch would have been better, so I don't know. But either way, he brings in, we bring in Dragonair. We do go ahead and shield this attack up. It is Blizzard. That would have knocked us out. So then we knock out Kingdra, and we are up a shield, but we're about at half health, so we do have to be careful, and he brings in his Drapion with Ice Fang. So definitely not looking good for us. We are up a shield, but it doesn't really matter because Ice Fangs don't care about shields. So he's going to be able to, I believe, knock us out. But let's see, we go for the Aqua Tail. And that was super close, but he does win it. If we had shielded one of the moves earlier, would have been a different situation, but that's okay. So we do go ahead and take that loss again using Haunter, and he's definitely gonna destroy us. Maybe I need more practice with Haunter. Maybe you definitely do want that Shadow Ball variant, as I said. But it's okay because we're just practicing, just playing for fun. I won't be using Haunter. As good as I think Haunter is, without Shadow Ball, I don't think it's really necessary. It's definitely not what you want, I don't think. But I do like Haunter, and it was definitely fun to experiment with, nonetheless. So we go for the Dragon Claw just to take a shield and then switch into Lapras. He is going to go ahead and get off a charge move, but I know I could take it, so I do take it. It is going to be that return, as it should. So I'm just going to try and farm down Dragonair, and we're actually able to before he can get off an Aqua Tail. So that's good for us. I do go for the Skull Bash. I was hoping that it would go through. It does go through, so it does do a lot of damage to Kingdra, and I'm trying to get to a Surf. Because our defense was increased, we're actually able to get to that Surf, but if it wasn't increased, I don't think we would have gotten to it. But he does shield it, so that's totally fine, and he'll be able to feint us down, but we're in a pretty good position. I think about it for a little bit. I decided to bring in Charizard because I wanted to farm down Kingdra and have energy for whatever comes in. I do shield the Outrage, and I managed to feint down the Kingdra, so now we have a Blast Burn ready to go, so I can click on that, and this is going to do a lot of damage to that Drapion. Drapion's not going to be able to pull it out for him this time. He does knock out Charizard. That's fine because we have the Victor Belt. Now, obviously, you don't really want Victor Belt against an Ice Fang Drapion. He'll be resisting Razor Leafs as well as doing super effective damage. But because of how low he was, because that Blast Burn went off, we're still able to win. So I lag in the beginning, like right now, as you can see. So I can't do anything. He just does a lot of damage to me. But again, it's not a big deal because it's just fun, you know. So we get off the return trying to use it against the Kingdra, and he is going to go ahead and shield that one up. And he actually feints us down. I don't know if he lagged a little bit. Maybe he let us get a few hits in because we got like... he got extra hits in against us in the beginning. I don't really know, but either way, it's okay. So we're going to go ahead and feint this Kingdra. In a tournament, I'm sure we would have just restarted, but, you know, because it's not a tournament, it's okay. We're going to go ahead and go for the Body Slams with the Celio, and just want to apply as much pressure as possible. You know, Celio definitely charges up really fast. Going to let this attack go through. It is going to be a crunch. We're able to take it. It looked like a CMP tie because we get off the Body Slam right now. And just need one more Body Slam. So can we get to it before he gets to his charge move? Yes, we can. So is he going to shield it or not? Let's find out. So he will not. He lets Skunk Tank go down, and then he brings in Dragonair. I actually blind switch immediately, kind of expecting, not really expecting, but thinking it could be the Dragonair because Dragonair is really a big Pokemon that you tend to see all the time. You know, if your opponent does have it, which they probably will, then you tend to see it come in, you know. So we go for the Surf, and we actually have back-to-back Surfs, so we're able to get off another one. So we're going to go ahead and go for that Surf and knock out the Dragonair. We could have feinted him with Ice Shot as well, but it's okay. We'll go ahead and knock him out with double Surfs, and we will go ahead and take that one. So again, another good game. Haunter will come back in this video, so we're going to go ahead and lead with Lapras. He leads with Kingdra. So that's fine. I'm just going to go ahead and charge up and try to charge up to the Skull Bash, and we do successfully get to it. So we get to it before he's able to get to Outrage. If he has, yeah, he has Outrage. Of course, he has Outrage. So he shields that up. That is fine. I am continuing to charge up. I do decide to shield this because I was pretty confident, or I knew I could get to another Skull Bash before he is able to get to another one. So we do get to the Skull Bash, and then I go ahead and bluff the Surf, and he actually does shield it. Now, even if he didn't shield it, I was still okay with that because of how low he was in terms of health, right? So we're able to get off another Surf and just knock him out. And now he brings in Ivysaur, and Ivysaur will knock out my Lapras, but I bring in Charizard. We're just going to be able to farm this one down. I switch immediately into Haunter. I wanted to save my Charizard. So we do have Haunter in the back. You know, I used it in the lead early in the video. Wanted to try it out. I actually decided to let Haunter go down because I was feeling pretty good about Charizard. I could have shielded up the Haunter, but I knew like my Sludge Bomb and Shadow Punch wouldn't be doing much anyway to Skunk Tank, right? So we do let it go down, and now we're able to get off a Blast Bird, knock out the Skunk Tank, and then it's Charizard versus Ivysaur, and of course Charizard wins this matchup when he's out of shields and I still have one shield. You know, we could have blocked the Sludge Bomb should he have gotten to it. So I felt pretty good about that game, and we do go ahead and win it. So that was good. So for the next game, I do lead with my Haunter, and he leads with his Ivysaur. So that's Razor Leaf, isn't it? And we're still taking a lot of damage. So he actually pulls the switch, and I do go ahead and go for my charge move. I was thinking of switching, but I was afraid, like, because sometimes like it tends to like get stuck nowadays, like when I try and switch, and I was afraid, well, if it got stuck, he would just be able to feint down my Haunter. So I wanted to get just any damage I could against that Drapion, so I decided to keep Haunter around. I bring in my Lapras against his Drapion, so I'm going to go ahead and take this attack. It is going to be a crunch, so we could take that. And I think my goal is to just feint down the Drapion because we're not taking much from the Ice Fang, so we could definitely take it. He brings in Ivysaur. I switch out ASAP into Dragonair. He switches into Whiscash. Do have to be careful because we don't want to take a Blizzard to the face. Well, we can't take a Blizzard to the face. Dragonair would go down. So we do take one shield. And now we're going to go ahead and block this so we don't take it. It is going to be a Mud Bomb. It's not a Blizzard, but I was like afraid it was Blizzard. So we're going to try and take his last shield with this Aqua Tail. Let's see if we're able to do so. We're not, because he does go ahead and not shield that. So it's a good play. We're going to go ahead and use another Aqua Tail, hoping to take his last shield. We at least want to get it. We do go ahead and take it. So pretty good position. I'm going to go ahead and shield this one up so we don't take a Mud Bomb. And as you can see, we don't take it, and we just feint him down with Dragonair, and now he brings in his Ivysaur. You know, I do go for the Aqua Tail. I could have reached the return, but in the moment I was thinking maybe I couldn't have. Actually, maybe I couldn't have, because he does go ahead and get off his charge move immediately. So maybe I couldn't have reached that return. So I guess the Aqua Tail was probably the better way to go. So I bring in Lapras, and I'm lagging, and I knew I had a Surf ready to go, but I couldn't get to it. So eventually the lag ignores itself, and we're able to win. And we do pull that one out. But good game. So we're going to go ahead and jump into another game, of course. This is quite a long video. I think it's about 25 minutes. So let's see. He's going to lead with Whiscash, and I lead with Charizard, and I'm going to go ahead and switch out because I know he has Water Gun, right? So we definitely cannot take a Water Gun Whiscash on, so we're going to switch into Lapras. He does have his Pokemon out now, which is going to be that Ivysaur. I do go ahead and bluff the Surf, and he does take the bait, so that's definitely good for me. So we're going to go ahead and get off another Surf, and I just wanted to get as much damage as possible. Couldn't get to a Skull Bash, so at least we take him out with Charizard that comes in. And now he will bring in his Whiscash. You know, this really isn't obviously good because he does have that Water Gun. It would be better, honestly, if he had the Mud Bomb, but he doesn't. So I'm going to go ahead and charge up to the Blast Burn and then click on the Dragon Claw, and he's going to go ahead and shield that. So that's good for us. We actually get to another Dragon Claw, which I didn't think we would be able to, but we do. So I'm going to go ahead and get off that Dragon Claw, and then he'll be able to feint me down. Now I am up 2 shields. I do have my Dragonair. I'm going to have to start using these shields, guys. You know, sometimes you guys know me, I like to hold on to my shields, but maybe not necessarily the best way to go in this cup. I mean, it depends on what your opponent has, right? But we're going to go ahead and get off an Aqua Tail against his Drapion, and we actually get to another Aqua Tail. I wasn't sure if this would feint the Drapion. I think it doesn't. I think it does. It doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't. So he actually gets to another charge move, and of course, if we want to survive, we're going to have to shield this one up no matter what it is. So we do feint the Drapion. He brings in his Whiscash, and we actually get to an Aqua Tail, and we're going to be able to take this game. I thought he had this game. I thought he was going to win this one, but we actually go ahead and sneak on by and win this game. So very good game. Very good game, of course. I don't have to say it, guys. You guys know these are good games, right? So we're going to jump into another one. I lead with Celio. He leads with Skunk Tank. So I am going to go ahead and just charge up. I think I charge up 2 in Aurora Beam, so I'm going to go ahead and take this. I know Celio can take a Crunch, so it is Crunch, so we're going to be able to take that. And we do charge up quite a bit extra and then fire off a Body Slam. So let's see, does he think it's an Aurora Beam? I don't know what he thought it was, but he doesn't shield regardless of what he thought it was. So I'm going to click on another Body Slam, and he's going to go ahead and take it. Totally fine. And we do get to another one. So we get to a 3rd Body Slam. So that was good for us. I didn't think I'd be able to get to that other one. But we do get to it. And he does let Skunk Tank go down. That might have been a CMP tie. He might have just been at it. But he does bring in Ivysaur. And there goes my Celio. I'm going to bring in Haunter. And yeah, we're taking a lot of damage, but we're going to go and be able to get to the Shadow Punch, and he's going to go ahead and shield that, so at least we take a shield. We're trying to take another shield, so I do get to a Shadow Punch, and let's see if we can take his last shield. We are successfully able to do so, so Haunter did its job in my opinion, because we're able to take both shields. I bring in my Victor Bell, and I guess it depends what he has left in the back. I'm going to go ahead and shield up that. You cannot take a Sludge Bomb. You can. It could have been a Power Whip, but I'm not taking any chances. So he does bring in his Drapion, unfortunately. I'm going to go ahead and go for my Leaf Tornado to lower his attack. I was like, well, if I lower his attack, maybe there's a chance. But no, he does go ahead and feint me down just with Ice Fang. So again, I lost with a shield in my inventory. Never a fun way to go, but it's okay. It's okay. We're still learning this format. Well, I mean, we basically have a hold on the format, but it definitely takes a different playstyle, in my opinion, than like the Ferocious Cup. You don't want to hold onto your shields. Or you might. I mean, it depends on your opponent's team, but as you can see, I generally like holding onto shields, but then he's able to basically win and I still have a shield left, or even 2 shields left. I've lost with 2 shields left because Dragon Breath as well as Razor Leaf do not care about shields, right? So we're going to go ahead and shield up this Mud Bomb. So we actually did invest both shields in the beginning. Just trying to play a different way. He does bring in his Drapion. We're going to go ahead and get off this Aqua Tail. So the Aqua Tail is going to do a decent amount of damage. Trying to get to another one. I think I lagged a little bit. Maybe if I didn't, I would have been able to get to that other Aqua Tail. I'm not sure, but either way, it's okay. He does switch into Ivysaur. I'm going to charge up a little bit, and then I bring in Charizard. Now, I know I do immediately go for the Dragon Claw because I didn't want him to get to a Sludge Bomb. That would have done a lot of damage. Now, he does shield that, so I'm like thinking, okay, this is going to be a Sludge Bomb, right? But at least I took the last shield, so he does do a lot of damage, actually knocking me out. Ivysaur actually knocking Charizard out, but we're able to take his last shield. So that was the goal. And now because we took his last shield, we could freely go for the Skull Bash that I had saved up in the back, and we're able to win that game. So very good game. Very good game. We're able to pull it through, though. We're able to pull it through. And we're going to jump into another game. So how's your weekend going, guys? I think, well, this video is going to go live on Monday. So how was your weekend? Let me know in the comments down below. So he's going to lead with Dragonair. We lead with Haunter. And definitely not fun for us. I do shield this because I'm like, okay, well, it looked like I could probably get to 2 Shadow Punches. So I was pretty confident I could. I knew the second one would be close. So I do go for a Shadow Punch, and we do get to it, but I was actually able to feint him down because he didn't shield. So we actually go for another Shadow Punch against the Kingdra. I thought he would shield the Dragonair. Honestly, that's why I was like, well, hopefully we can get to 2, but he decides not to. And so we're able to get that damage off on Kingdra. I do bring in my Dragonair. We actually just feint him down without having to use a shield. So that was really nice. And we do go for the return against his Ivysaur. He's going to let it go through. I do switch into Lapras. And we just want to get as much damage as possible. Now, going for the Surf was definitely a mistake. Because he's 100% going to shield it. And there's no... And that cost us an Ice Shot, basically. So we probably could have feinted him down just with that if we didn't. But it's okay because we still have a shield left, so we're going to go ahead and shield the Sludge Bomb and win anyway. But yeah, when it came to the Lapras against that Ivysaur. If we didn't shield that, or if we didn't go for the Surf, we would have probably been able to, maybe it would have been a KO at the same time. I'm not really sure. But either way, that Surf was definitely a mistake because there was no way I was taking both shields, right? So in that game. So there was no reason for me to try to. But anyway, that's okay. So he switches into Kingdra. I'm going to go for the Shadow Punch. I thought I would be able to get to 2, so I do go for 1. And he will not shield that up, and we actually do get to the other one, but we fall down before we're able to click on it. So that's a bummer, but it's okay. It's okay. So we're going to go ahead and shield this one up. My Haunter doesn't have good PvP IVs. If it had better ones, we could have probably gotten off that second Shadow Punch a lot in these games. So he switches, I switch ASAP into my Charizard. Look how much damage we're doing to Ivysaur. We do charge up extra, and then I decided to go for Dragon Claw because I didn't want to get hit with a Sludge Bomb. Although he does shield, and we're going to get hit with a Sludge Bomb anyway, but we're able to follow suit with the shield and protect ourselves. So we do go ahead and feint the Ivysaur, so now we have energy ready to go. And I see it's a Dragonair, so I'm going to click on my Dragon Claws because obviously you don't want to use Blast Burn against the Dragonair. So we click on it, we click on a second one, and really good situation for us because he's out of shield. So we're going to go ahead and do a lot of damage to that Pokemon. I switch into my Lapras and we click on the Surf immediately. And yeah, this is just going to knock him out, and we're going to go ahead and steal the last game. So those were very good games. Thank you so much for battling. It's always a pleasure, and I will see you guys in the next one. Have a good day. Bye. Thank you so much for checking out my latest video. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. If you like this video, check out one of my other videos that you'll probably enjoy.